Why take a gun safety course? Learn gun safety. There's no such thing as a gun accident. Safety. Every gun owner has a responsibility to themselves and to everyone around them to know how to safely possess a firearm. Even the most seasoned firearm owner can learn something. Knowledge is power, and you don't know what you don't know. There's no such thing as gun accidents, just negligence. Know the rules. Memorize the rules of gun safety and make them a priority. The four rules of gun safety include all guns are to be treated as they're loaded. Never let the muzzle cover anything you are not willing to destroy. Keep your finger off the trigger until your sights are on the target and you're ready to shoot. And you should always identify your target and what is behind it. These are the most important of the rules, which must always be followed, but some others include know how to handle your gun safely, only use the correct ammunition for your gun, wear eye and ear protection, and never use mind altering substances before or while shooting. You should always know and abide by the rules of the range when shooting a firearm. Every range has their own set of rules that you need to follow. Make sure you understand them and abide by them. You should always keep the muzzle of your firearm pointed in a safe direction, and that would be downrange. Always keep the firearms unloaded when not in use. Always keep your finger away from the trigger, and if there's a safety, it should be kept on. Be sure that the downrange target is cleared, that there isn't anyone down there switching targets or performing maintenance. Use correct ammunition for your firearms. Know how to use and handle the firearm safely. Wear protective shooting glasses and hearing protection at all times. Treat all firearms as if they are loaded. All firearms should be unloaded and cased before leaving the range. You're prohibited from bringing alcohol into the range. There should be a maximum of 2 shooters per lane. No horse playing. Under 18 years of age must be accompanied by an adult. Strictly follow the range safety officer's commands, and all shooters have a responsibility for checking and making sure the firearm is functioning correctly and safe to operate. You should have your firearm properly cased. The worst thing you can do is walk into a gun range with a gun in your hand or in a brown paper bag. If you have a concealed pistol license and your gun is holstered, do not remove it from the holster until you are in your lane and keep your gun pointed downrange at all times. Without a valid concealed pistol license, make sure your firearm is transported unloaded in the proper container, separate from ammunition. You should bring proper safety gear. Since COVID, many ranges no longer provide the free use of eye and ear protection. Eye and ear protection are a must at the range. Make sure you choose adequate hearing protection. Check your decibel rating. The higher the number, the more noise they block. A suggested minimum is 22. Wear appropriate clothing. Shooting on a gun range, especially one that has a section of bulletproof glass between each lane, means that hot brass may bounce off the glass and come back at you upon ejection from the gun. Low cut shirts, tank tops, flip flops, open toed shoes are all inappropriate for shooting on the range. Wearing a hat with a bill is encouraged for new shooters. Read the rules of the gun range. Go in knowing the rules and, once there, follow them. Review and understand any and all range specific rules, requirements, and expectations. Don't be afraid to ask the staff questions or tell them that it's your first time. Many ranges have explicit rules against things like drawing from a holster, rapid rates of fire, and the types of ammunition they allow on the range. Ignorance of the rule is no excuse. Know and abide by the 3 gun safety basics. Always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. Always keep your finger off the trigger until ready to shoot. Always keep the gun unloaded until ready to use. Do not uncase your firearm until you are in your lane. Once you've arrived at your lane, uncase your firearm and place it on the bench pointed downrange at all times. You can then proceed to load your magazine and shoot. Stay in your own lane. It is really poor taste to bother the people next to you during firing. It is okay to make small talk in between, but not during firing. Also, please do not touch other people's firearms or equipment without asking permission. Do not leave your lane with a loaded firearm, ever. If you have a problem, a gun jam, whatever, place the firearm on the shooting bench pointed down range and then get an employee from the range to assist you. Do not move around with it or pack it back up with a round inside. If you are shooting with a group of people, people may move from lane to lane, but the gun should remain on the shooting bench pointed down range at all times. Do not walk between lanes with loaded firearms. Learn the law. Ignorance of the law is not a defense. You are responsible for knowing the firearm laws in your state, even if you're only keeping a firearm in the home for self defense purposes. Every gun owner should know how to properly transport and store a firearm. Always check with a certified firearm instructor and or attorney that specializes in firearm and or criminal defense law if you have a question. You should understand that you are responsible for every bullet that leaves your gun, whether it hits your intended target or an innocent bystander. While you may be found innocent of any criminal wrongdoing for shooting someone in self defense, you can still face civil liability and financial responsibility for the damages to an innocent party. If you shoot and miss your target, hitting an innocent person, you are responsible for those damages. Your bullet hits someone in an adjacent room, you're responsible. Your bullet travels through a wall or window, you are responsible. Develop good habits. Creating good habits that you repeat each time you shoot will help you shoot with consistency. Keep your finger off the trigger unless you are ready to shoot. Proper finger indexing is key. Always use the proper holster for your gun and do not attempt to shoot faster than your skill level. Gain useful knowledge. Know and follow all of the standard firearm safety rules. Read your owner's manual. Make sure you have proper storage for your firearm, both in your home and in your vehicle. Know the differences between types of ammunition and always use the proper ammunition for the gun you are shooting. Learn to properly clean and maintain your firearm. You don't know what you don't know. Learn correctly from an expert. Proper firearm handling is critical not only for the safety of yourself and others, but also for the enjoyment of the sport. Try different calibers and styles of guns before you buy. You might be surprised at what works best for you. Never be afraid to ask questions, no matter how silly they may seem. Be a responsible gun owner. Learn firearm safety from a trusted source. While friends and family can be helpful, there are many misnomers that can land you in trouble legally. Know and follow the rules of safe handling and the range every time. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Work to develop and maintain good habits. You will only rise to the level of your training in a self defense incident. You won't become a sharpshooter by watching videos. Get training.